Code of Honor is still last, but here he comes now, and he just needs some running room. He's going to come outside of Final Jeopardy, and here comes Code of Honor with a burst of speed, and he charges up to take the lead at the 8th pole. He has left Final Jeopardy and the others reeling behind. Oh, he's back. Code of Honor has won the Dwyer in style by 3.5 lengths on the wire.
All right, here we go. We're back with more Travers previews. We got Code of Honor in this video today. And Code of Honor, I'm going to say, is a horse that is very similar to Tacitus. This is a horse that has never finished worse than 4th place in his career, just like Tacitus. This horse was very good has been very good in all the races that he's run in his career. Whether or not he's won those races are two separate things. But, I will go back through and I will say you can take some of his races. Specifically, the one that I'm referring to right here is the Florida Derby, when he had absolutely no pace to run into. And this is the thing with with Code of Honor, is that he needs some kind of a pace to run into, but he doesn't. I have always felt with Code of Honor that he can win a race that doesn't go 100% his way. He's not a one-dimensional horse, that he needs the trip or he's not going to win the race. That's what I've always felt about him. I think that this is a horse that is that has a lot of talent and is improving. And I like him a lot going into this Travers Stakes. Ever since I saw him win the Dwyer on July 6th, I've felt that this is a horse that is going to definitely raise some eyebrows. I thought it was a good decision that he didn't run in the Jim Dandy. They made the decision to go with the Dwyer, and it clearly paid out because they won that race. Now, I'm not going to say that they were ducking any horses, because that was just a schedule that fit best for Shug McGaughey, going in the Dwyer and then waiting until the Travers Stakes. This horse passed the Dwyer, was second in the Kentucky Derby, and he ran a very good race in the Kentucky Derby. Let me tell you that. The big story out of the Kentucky Derby was obviously the disqualification, and, we were talking about all the stuff with the DQ that I don't think that we spent enough time giving the horses that ran well credit for running well, specifically Code of Honor. This horse looked a winner, at least in my eyes, turning for home. Johnny Velasquez looked like Calvin Borel in that race when he took Code of Honor up the rail, and it looked like he was going to go on, but Maximum Security, we don't need to talk about how gutty of a horse he is, how hard he is to get by, but, you saw that with Code of Honor. But anyway, going back to the Florida Derby, this horse was third, and he had a significant excuse in that race because Maximum Security was not at all pushed on the front end, and so Code of Honor had no pace to run into. So that was the issue with him, is that he didn't have a pace at all to run into. But going back to the Fountain of Youth Stakes back in early March, he did have a pace to run into, and that was a vintage Code of Honor race. If he gets the kind of trip that he got in the Travers Stakes, or if he gets the trip he got in the Fountain of Youth in the Travers Stakes, he's going to be in a position at the top of the stretch to win the race. I'm not going to say that he will win the race for sure, but that is going to put him in a position where he will win this race. The one problem that I would say with him, actually, the two problems that I would say with him is, number one, this horse does need some kind of a pace to run into. Now, I'm not going to say that the Dwyer is the best determination of how this horse is going to perform in this race, because, the one thing I will say about the Dwyer is that, it was a slower paced race than what he has traditionally needed to win races. And I'm basing that off of the Florida Derby, and not necessarily the Kentucky Derby, but specifically the Florida Derby. Because Maximum Security, like I said, in that race, did not have any pressure on him at all. So he was able to set his own pace, and by the time they got to the stretch, Code of Honor didn't have any pace to run into, and so he had no chance to win that race. But I draw a line through the Florida Derby. He ran a very good race in the Kentucky Derby, and a very, very good race in the Dwyer. The other problem that I would say I would have with him in this race is saying he's a slam dunk horse, is because this looks like it's going to be a 12-13 horse field. Again, not all the entries in the race are confirmed, but this does look like it's going to be a fairly large field, and there is always the chance that he could get stuck and not be able to get through. I can't foresee that happening right now because I don't know the post positions, but that's what I would say right now. But aside from all that, this is a very talented horse and definitely has improved I think, since the Florida Derby, because his run in the run in the Kentucky Derby, whether you want to think of it as a second or a third, was still a very, very good run by this horse. And then his run in the Dwyer was very good. I know it was against questionable competition, but that was a good run. And this is a horse that has improved, and even if he doesn't win, he's going to run well, I think, in this race. So, with that being said, this is it for the Code of Honor video for Travers Profile. If you've not seen the contest video, link to that is in the description. Go check that out. And we'll see you tomorrow when we have Mucho Gusto.
On the inside, Code of Honor, and Code of Honor means business. He's into the clear, and challenging the favorite as they turn for home. Less than a quarter of a mile to go in the Fountain of Youth. Hidden Scroll digs deep, but Code of Honor blows past, and Code of Honor is on to the front. Hidden Scroll trying to hold on to second. Here's Bourbon War unleashing a big run down the center, but Code of Honor is going to hang on to win the Fountain of Youth 3 parts of a length over